Hey guys, what's up? What's happening? I am still the King of Games 98. How you doing? Hope you are doing good. And welcome to the channel. It just occurred to me in all the years I've been doing YouTube and doing YouTube videos, I don't think I ever opened a video with welcome to the channel. So, welcome to the channel. If you're a continued subscriber and a frequent viewer, thank you. I appreciate you. And if you happen to be new and just found my YouTube channel, well, welcome. So, without further ado, today's episode is going to be a review video. As if you couldn't already tell, I will be reviewing the fourth and final season of the Netflix Castlevania anime series. So, how I'm going to do this is I'm going to read to you guys, it says on the back of my DVD's case, and then I wrote down my own brief summary, so I'm going to elaborate off of that. Wallachia. Yeah. Wallachia collapses into chaos as factions clash, some attempting to take control, others attempting to bring Dracula back from the dead. Nobody is who they seem, and nobody can be trusted. These are the end times. I don't know if I butchered Wallachia or if I pronounced that right or not. But you know what? Either way, that's what that says on the back. And then this is what I wrote down to kind of elaborate off of that. Season 4 starts off in Targovishta. I'm pretty sure I pronounced that right. And has Trevor and Sypha going around killing demonic creatures and Dracula loyalists, trying to bring Vlad Tepes, Dracula himself, back to life. Now, there was... What did I write down? I wrote down 3 different subplots. I think there was just 3, but there might have been more. I wrote down 3, so I'm going to read them off too, because they interconnected to the main plot of Season 4. So, Saint Germain is still looking for the Infinite Corridor, but this time it is revealed why he is so hell-bent on looking for the Infinite Corridor. And, towards the end of Season 3, I believe it was when he first tried to access, Season 3 he was looking for it. Then I think at the end of Season 3 it was his first time trying to access and actually get to the Infinite Corridor. Now in Season 4, it's actually said why. Because I don't think it ever said in Season 3. And it is so that he can save the woman that he fell in love with that he lost in there. So that was pretty interesting, if you ask me. Carmilla wanted to take over the world now that Dracula is dead. I kind of saw that plot, coming. That just seemed kind of obvious to me. And the last subplot I wrote was Isaac wanting to stop Carmilla and get revenge on Hector for abandoning him after Dracula was killed. That was crazy. And I am not going to say this and spoil it because I wrote that before I watched what actually happened in Season 4, but that was just a crazy battle. That was a crazy plot twist. And it just the whole season 4 just had me on the edge of my seat the whole entire time. It totally held my attention and I was engrossed watching it, which I think I can say that about the whole series as a whole, all 4 seasons, really. Okay, so Season 4 premiered on May 13th of 2021 on Netflix. Here's the thing though, guys, and I think I might have mentioned this in the previous review videos I did, but if you didn't see those, I will say it again here and now. I do not have a Netflix account or subscription for that matter. So I am basically forced to wait until these were released on DVD and Blu-ray to buy them to be able to watch them. So I'm sure you're probably questioning right now, it's 2023. If Season 4 premiered on May 13th of 2021, well, why did it take you so long to review Season 4? And that's a very valid question, very good point you bring up. Well, Season 4 of Castlevania did not drop on DVD and Blu-ray until July 19th of 2022. And what's ironic is by the time this video goes up, that will already be a year ago. So basically, it took a year for Viz Media to release it on DVD and Blu-ray, and then it took me a year to actually find the time to sit down, watch, and review it. Crazy. But yeah, that's what happened. So I hope that answered your question. Season 4 Castlevania is only a total of 10 episodes. But you see, here's the thing. Keeping in line with the other 3 seasons of Castlevania, the episodes will run anywhere from 20 minutes to about 23 minutes an episode. So basically, if you're going to watch this anime series, you really got to allow yourself enough time to sit down and fully watch all the episodes. Now, I am going to get into my thoughts, feelings, and opinions about Season 4 of Castlevania, and that's going to do it for this review. So, the animation was fantastic in Season 4. But, I don't even want to specifically just say Season 4. The animation in general, in the whole entire Castlevania Netflix anime series, is fantastic. I loved it, and I still love it so much. Throughout the series, it featured great music. It had me hype. And, at the different battle scenes and, boss battles or fights, whatever you want to, call it, they had the perfect music for the boss fights. Season 4 of Castlevania introduced cool and unique characters into this season. Of course, you still had Trevor Belmont, Sypha Belnades, and Alucard, but then, there was still the Vampire Council with Carmilla, Lenore, Striga. I think I'm forgetting one or two, but that's okay. And yeah, I'm kind of blanking on the characters' names, but it did really introduce cool, unique characters in this season. Now, at the beginning of this video, I mentioned there was the main plot, and then there was a couple different subplots, but the subplots interconnected into the main plot. I love how the writers did that with the 4th and final season of the Castlevania Netflix anime series. I thought that was really cool. I have watched numerous movies, TV shows, and animes, and sometimes when writers and directors try to do that, they go great, and then other times they fall short, if you will, and they don't go over well. Season 4 Castlevania's sub-interconnecting plots, I thought worked together so well. And it all just came together and blended. And ended with a proper, fulfilling finale that wrapped up the whole series and put a nice bow on it. Now, speaking of the finale of Season 4 of Castlevania and of the whole Castlevania anime series as a whole, that was freaking fantastic. Holy shit. I was not expecting any of that. This was my first time watching it, and I just went into it knowing nothing. Well, okay, I lied there. Something was spoiled for me on Twitter way back when, and I am not going to say it here in case you have, the viewer, have not seen Castlevania Season 4 yet, even though it's been out for 2 years now. I am not going to say what the spoiler was, but the spoiler, thanks to Twitter, was pretty big. It was very significant. But that finale just blew me away. And then, I'm sorry, this is going to be a bit of a spoiler, but, you know, again, the Season 4 has been out for 2 years now. I have to talk about this because this was so freaking cool. Trevor Belmont fights Death himself. How freaking cool was that? I mean, the character of Death has been, you know, he's nothing new to the Castlevania video game series. He's been in multiple games. Symphony of the Night. I think he was in 2, Simon's Quest. I'm pretty sure he was in 3, Dracula's Curse, Rondo of Blood. Like, the amount of games that character has appeared in, and then to finally bring him into the anime series. First off, he was impersonating a character, which I'm not even going to say who the character was, but he was impersonating a character. Then when he revealed himself, it was like, holy plot twist, Batman. I didn't see that coming. So that was freaking crazy. And then Trevor, when he actually starts fighting him, that boss battle, that boss fight was just freaking incredible. And just, it just made me feel like I was playing the actual video game. I don't know how else to describe it other than that. I felt like I was physically sitting down playing a Castlevania game and in a boss fight with Death. That was so damn cool. I can't say enough good about that. Okay, so now we are drawing to the end of this review. Now, there has been a Castlevania anime follow-up series announced. I don't remember exactly when it was announced, but a teaser trailer was dropped by Netflix on their official YouTube channel, and the name of the series is going to be Castlevania Nocturne. Love the name, love the title. It could not fit any better with the series. And it is currently in the works at Netflix, and it will focus on Richter Belmont and Maria Renard set during the French Revolution. Now, if you are as big of a Castlevania fan as I am, then the name Richter Belmont should be very familiar to you, as he was the main protagonist in Castlevania Dracula X, Castlevania Rondo of Blood, and Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Now, I know technically I just named 3 different Castlevania games, but technically it's not 3 different Castlevania games, it's technically just 2. Now, like I said, if you're a diehard Castlevania fan like I am, you will probably already know this, and this is nothing new to you. However, if you aren't, then you probably don't know about Dracula X and Rondo of Blood. So, I'm going to explain that right now. In Japan, back in, I don't know, I want to say maybe 1994, 95, Castlevania Dracula X Rondo of Blood, I believe that is the full name of the game, was released in Japan on NEC's PC Engine Super CD-ROM 2. Yes, I know that was a mouthful, but that is the name of the console. And it was fantastic. A just banger of a side-scrolling Castlevania game. And Konami wanted to bring it to North America. So when they did, they brought it over, put it on a Super Nintendo cartridge, and they just simply called it Castlevania Dracula X. Here's the thing, though, with Castlevania Dracula X, the original Super Nintendo version. When Rondo of Blood was released in Japan, it was on a CD-ROM disc. A CD-ROM disc holds more data and storage than a cartridge. And so when Konami brought Dracula X to North America on the Super Nintendo cartridge, well, they couldn't fit a lot of the content that was on the original disc on the cartridge, meaning they had to cut a lot of content. So, for instance, the character of Maria Renard, well, which that is her, on the Super Nintendo version of Dracula X, she's not even in the game. I'm like almost certain that character is not even mentioned. She's not even shown. She's not in the game at all. She just got cut out entirely. On top of that, there was a lot less levels on the Super Nintendo version than there was in the original PC Engine Super CD-ROM 2 version. So, basically what I'm saying is the original Dracula X Super Nintendo version is basically what I like to call the watered down version of Castlevania Rondo of Blood, because it just has it had so much content cut from the game that it's not all there. So, for years, you really didn't have much of a choice but to import a PC Engine with the Super CD-ROM 2 add-on to play Rondo of Blood. Then, in about, I think, 2008, Konami released Castlevania The Dracula X Chronicles exclusively on the PSP, which I have here in my hand. Now, you're probably questioning, if you don't already know, and were saying to me, well, the King, what is the Dracula X Chronicles? I'm so glad and happy you asked. This PSP UMD disc contains Castlevania Rondo of Blood, a remastered version for the PSP, and Castlevania Symphony of the Night, a remastered version of the original PlayStation 1 game. And what is beautiful is they included the original, as it says right here, the original Rondo of Blood game on the PSP UMD disc, which you can unlock, I think, after beating the Rondo of Blood remaster. How freaking cool is that? That is so cool, and that was probably one of the smartest decisions Konami ever did with the Castlevania franchise. And I'm very lucky and blessed to say that I own that in my collection. So, long story short, I absolutely love the Castlevania Netflix anime series. I really do. This was a great example of taking a popular video game franchise, turning it into an anime, and doing it so much justice and just being fantastic. Now, as I'm sure if you couldn't already tell, I'm very hype and extremely looking forward to Castlevania Nocturne. And ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for this review, really. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know, of the 4 seasons of the Castlevania anime series, which one was your favorite, if you had to choose one? And on top of that, let me know also, are you hype about Castlevania Nocturne? And what are your favorite Castlevania games in general? But also, what are your favorite Castlevania games starring Richter Belmont? Thank you guys so much for watching, and take care.